Hello and welcome back to RLCS Recap with your host Marky Two Butts. Today we're going over the European Fall Regional number 3, taking a look at the quarterfinal games between Dignitas and Team Queso and Vitality and BDS, as well as the semifinals and the finals. Let's get into it. Getting to the first game, it is Team Queso versus Dignitas in the quarterfinals, and we have Team Queso bringing it down to the Dignitas' end. Dignitas trying to break out. Joyo blocks one, blocks two, and puts it into a goal over the defender. And Queso is up 1-0, and Joyo again up to the ceiling, fakes one, gets it off the backboard. Apparently Jack is there to try to break out for Dignitas, but he's 50'd, is stopped, and they will take a 2-0 lead and get a third one right off the kickoff. And it looks like this game is all wrapped up for Team Queso unless Dignitas can get a couple goals here right after another and try to make something of this game. They try to get it up, but they have no one back, and Queso will finish the game 4-0 and take the first lead. And in game 2, we are already in 2 minutes into overtime, as Dignitas, apparently Jack couldn't control it on his own corner. He saves it off the line, but Joyo is there, and he puts it in for Queso to take another lead and another victory in this series so far, as they just continue to put on the pressure. And Joyo with another goal in game 3 as another kickoff comes through, and another goal by Rise this time, and they lead 2-0. Dignitas trying to build on anything with Yorez getting a nice goal to get the lead down to 1, and looking for a second one off the corner, and they put it in to get it to tied. We are into overtime again, and as Joyo in Dignitas' corner flicks it up over one defender. Someone clears it onto the ceiling, and they're trying to come out of half field, but Viteria tries to pass it, misses that, and Yorez is there to intercept that as the third man was coming in, and Dignitas gets their first win on the board. Hopefully they can build off of this, and they got a nice shot towards the corner which won't go in, but apparently Jack with a nice demo coming through by his teammate, left with an open goal, and he puts that one in. Rise slows it down at half field, gets blocked by apparently Jack though, and he puts it into another empty net as Dignitas take a 2-goal lead. Starting to build some good momentum here. A nice block from Yorez. Beats one defender on the wall, still has a little bit of boost, can get back to it for the flipper side, and he dunks it into the goal to get it 3-0. And Dignitas looking good in game number 4 here. They do end up giving a goal up as Rise will pass it to Joyo. He beats his defender easily and puts it in, but Dignitas ties the series up at 2-2. And we head into game 5 with Scrub Killer off the backboard, puts it down to apparently Jack, and he puts it in for the first lead of game 5. And apparently Jack tries to go over one defender, but Joyo cuts it out at half field. Yorez is there to pick it up though and puts it on target as the defender gets bumped, so they can't clear the ball off the line. And another bump attempt, which leads it to going off the backboard, and the pressure for Queso builds as Joyo receives a pass and puts it in right down the middle, and they cut the lead into 1. As Vatir with a nice shot over all of the defenders, well placed into the top of the goal, and we are tied at 2-2, but apparently Jack will read that pass and get the win for Dignitas as they take a 3-2 lead with 3 straight wins in a row. Joyo trying to dribble out of his own goal, and Dignitas stepped up a little bit too far as Vatir is going to put that into an empty net for Queso's 3rd win. And we go into game number 7. Scrub Killer coming through his own goal, and he will get that over the defender, and apparently Jack has an easy put away, and Queso really needs a goal here to try to come back. Vatir steps a little bit too forward, and Yorez off the sidewall, and apparently Jack is there to put it in, and that will be the game as Dignitas advance to the semifinals. And now we have BDS versus Team Vitality in the quarterfinal matchup, and BDS coming on strong, and Monkey Moon is able to get that first goal of game number 1. Vitality, Fairy Peak trying to find L54 downfield, and Mark Bates all alone in the corner. Defense does come back, and Fairy Peak is able to push that through with a nice 50 from his teammate and tie up the game with only 40 or so seconds remaining. Vitality in their own corner gives it over to extra with a nice little 50 into the middle, and they're able to get that goal and take the first win of the series so far. L54 with a nice 50 brings it to the half field. Fairy Peak leaves up for K-Dop with a nice 50 again and puts it into Fairy Peak's path, who will put that in the goal. And Alpha 54 trying to deflect that onto net. Leaves Monkey Moon with some time and space. Puts it into the middle. Catches up to his own hit. Leaves it to Mark by 8, who puts it over L54, and we have an 8-minute overtime here for game number 2 to find a winner. Mark by 8 challenges one in the corner. Extra tries to put it up, but K-Dop is the first one to it. No boost left, so he has to leave it alone for Monkey Moon. Over to Mark by 8. K-Dop misses it, and Monkey Moon will get his own hit and give BDS a 2-0 lead so far. Into the third game, it is Vitality with the pressure on, and Monkey Moon can do no more than just watch it go into his goal. And with time running out, BDS really need a goal here to tie this game up, send it in overtime. Extra over to Mark by 8, but K-Dop is there to stop it. And with 1 second left, Extra hits it up to Monkey Moon, beats the defender off the backboard, and Mark by 8 is there to put it in as we head into overtime in this. And with momentum on Team BDS's side from getting that 2 wins and getting a last-second goal, they are the ones that are likely to win this. With Mark by 8 puts it up, Extra, no one challenges him as of yet. Comes to the sidewall after a challenge from Fairy Peak, and Mark by 8 off the backboard. He can't put it in. Monkey Moon, oh, the save by the double command, and BDS will take the win and move on to series point. And in game 4, Mark by 8 challenging Fairy Peak in the corner. Fairy Peak beats it by him, but Monkey Moon's there for the next challenge. And Fairy Peak with a nice demo, ball off the ceiling. Mark by 8 off the crossbar of his own goal, and Fairy Peak can't put it in, but K-Dop is there to finish it up. And Vitality to take a 1-0 lead. They need to pull off a reverse sweep now to move into the semifinals. Fairy Peak trying to pass down, but Mark by 8 gets a nice touch on it, and Monkey Moon is there to put it in. Cherry picking. Alpha 54 on the sidewall, puts it to the back wall. Mark by 8 over to Monkey Moon, who's got a lot of time. Tries the flip reset, doesn't need it, and they will win that game. And the other 2 quarterfinal games were Endpoint and Carmine Corp and SMPR Esports and Evil Geniuses as we move into the semifinals. Taking a look at the first semifinals, we have Endpoint versus Dignitas, and apparently Jack gets it by 1 and 2 players of Endpoint, and Scrub is able to roll it into an empty net and off the kickoff. Yorez trying to get a second one, but Seiko has other plans for that, and they defend that well. Apparently Jack off the back wall, no one's there, but he can't get back to his own touch. Now Seiko with a little bit of time and space. The demo comes through and a flipper set and gets them a goal, and they tie it up as we get on into the action again. And apparently Jack with a nice touch, and he puts that into an empty net again. As apparently Jack puts one on target. Metasaurus brushes it away into his own corner. Endpoint trying to break out. Seiko with more room and space finds the flipper set, gets the 50, and Relating Wave is the first one to it, who puts it in the bottom left-hand corner and tie it up. As we are looking for a winner as the game is coming to an end, and it's Metasaurus who gets their pass from Relating Wave, who puts that into the goal. And Endpoint trying to close this one out, but apparently Jack with some time and space tries to get over Seiko. Ball pops out to the right-hand corner. Scrub off the sidewall and gets back to it and will force us into overtime as Metasaurus misses that. Scrub Killer beats one, bumps Seiko. Seiko recovers well, wins the 50, picks up the 100 boost, and there's no one there for the defense, and Endpoint will get the first win in this series. Yorez starting that off, beating the defender to the ball, and puts a shot on target. Endpoint were not expecting that, and they take the first lead in game number 2. Relating Wave trying to pinch it off the ground over to Seiko, and he is able to slip it through, and we have a tie game with only 20 seconds remaining. Endpoint in their own half, and Yorez has a powerful shot with just too much on it, and we will be going to an overtime though as Seiko off the back wall puts it in, and he has other plans about going into overtime, and he gets a second one right off the kickoff, and why not another one as they win the second game in a row into game number 3. And we have Endpoint with the pressure on. Apparently Jax, with not a lot of boost, able to flip it onto his car and over to Yorez, who gets that goal. Metasars over to Relating Wave with a nice redirect, and Metasars is going to be able to finish that one off. And we are going into the last 30 seconds of this game, looking for a winner. And Dignitas on the sidewall, but it blocked back to their own net. And Scrub Killer off the sidewall with a nice fast shot, and he's able to get Dignitas' first win on the board, as we are into game number 4 now. And a nice beat from endpoint player. Zico up in the air. No one's there challenging him. Off the back wall, double touch, and he's able to put it in. And that is the only game of number 4, and endpoint are at match point, series point here. And they are on the defensive though. And apparently Jack is trying to mount a comeback for Dignitas. He gets one off the sidewall and back at endpoint's own corner. Scrub Killer with a nice goal from a pass from Yorez, and they are up 2-0. Scrub on the sidewall still with the ball, loses it a little bit. Yorez with a nice pass to him. Scrub Killer over to apparently Jax, and Dignitas takes a 3-0 lead with a nice passing play coming out from the Dignitas team. Lane Wave trying to get a little fancy and beat a defender, not able to do it. And Scrub Killer tries to put it on target. Relating Wave puts it over the defender. It goes off the sidewall, and Zico's there to finish it off. And we have Scrub Killer putting it on net. Tries to win the 50s, not able to. Over to Relating Wave, who takes his time trying to find Metasars, but he is not able to. And Yorez will clean that up. And it looks like Dignitas will get their second win of the game. As apparently Jax on his own back wall, puts it off to the corner. Zico, no one's challenging him there, and he's able to put it in. And we are into game number 6. A nice passing attempt from Dignitas into the midfield. Endpoint trying to break out now. Metasars by 1. Stuff by the second player, and Scrub Killer is able to get to the ball off the ceiling first and put it in. And Dignitas on defense. They both go for the ball and just puts it across his line, but can't get it to go out, and it will go in. And we have a 1-1 game with a nice pass from apparently Jack to Yorez, and he gets it in. And now it's 2-1 Dignitas. And Zico, trying to make a comeback, is able to get a nice air dribble and bring us into a tie game as Relating Wave bounces over 1. Gets the ball, brings it up onto the sidewall from the ground, beats the second, and he able to pass it over, and they end up winning the series and move on to the finals. So we have BDS versus SMPR Esports in our second semifinals, as Casio gets the first goal for SMPR. It's in their defensive end with a couple nice 50s, and Archie with a shot that goes just off the corner, but Casio is there again to put it in, and they will win game number 1. A nice air dribble by Chaussette, puts off the backboard, and Archie's there to finish it off and give them another lead. They're just applying the pressure. Monkey Moon can't read that one in the air. Extra touches it off the corner, back to himself, and he puts that shot on target, and no one is there from SMPR to get back to the ball quick enough. And Casio with a nice touch into the corner. And Monkey Moon's got it, beats one defender. Chaussette stops him. Casio and Chaussette both double commit. Comes to Archie, and there's no one back from BDS, and they will get the win with an empty net goal in overtime and take us into game number 3. Monkey Moon to the back wall. No defenders there, and he's going to put that in easily. And with just 40 seconds left, SMPR trying to get a goal to mount a comeback. And Extra gets the second goal. Chaussette on his own back wall now. Tries to play into the corners. Got no more boost left. The pass is cut out. Casio on target with a nice demo. And there should be no goalie there. And yes, there is. And Archie gets it, but it's just a little too late, as BDS will win 2-1 and get the first win on the board in the semifinals. Defender can't clear it, and Monkey Moon is able to put that in off the backboard. Couldn't direct it either side of the goal and just had to let it float down. They are trying to come back. It's a nice double touch, not in, but Chaussette's there to finish it off. And we are tied up with 1:30 remaining. And Casio with a nice receiving of a pass from all the way on his own backboard. And we are into 0 seconds as Monkey Moon passes over to the left. Extra and Chaussette go for it. Ball's still up. Monkey Moon up in the air. Archie will take over. Puts it right in front of the BDS's net. No one else there to challenge them, and they will finish it off with a 3-1 win. And they are looking at match point in this game 5. Marked by 8 with a nice block into his own corner. Archie's there to going to be able to get there first and passes it in midfield to Chaussette. And they get an early lead. As Monkey Moon calls off Marked by 8. And Casio beats Monkey Moon to the ball, puts it into the corner. Extra coming around with the ball. Pops into the middle. Nice deflection, but not enough to the side. And Casio's there to snipe the corner of the wall, give them a 2-0 lead. Extra his own corner now, trying to air dribble. Can't get by one, but a nice pass from Marked by 8 to him, and then off the corner, and Marked by 8's there to put it in. Off the kickoff though, Archie misses it, but Casio's there to put it back in. And we have goals galore in this game. Casio trying to dump the ball downfield. Monkey Moon was able to get that off the corner. Trying to just lightly hit the ball down to his teammate, and he's able to, as it is 2-3 now. BDS 1 goal away from tying this up. And mounting a comeback. Chaussette with a nice angle on the double touch is able to give the 2-goal lead to SMPR Esports. And BDS really trying to put the pressure on, will get the first goal they need, and off the backboard, and Marked by 8 is able to just put it in, as it was Monkey Moon who actually had to come and put that in over the line. And with a 4-4, we just need one more goal for a winner here. Extra trying to find Marked by 8, he's able to get to it, and he beats the defender, and we will go into game number 6. And BDS hang on in the beginning of game number 6, is in the midfield. Comes over to Casio, got no boost, picks up a full boost, gets challenged by Extra, who's able to get back to it and get the ball underneath the defender and put it in. Extra trying to get something going with 0 boost though, and it is stuck in his own corner, and it comes back to his own net, and they tie it up. And Casio by 1 goes off the crossbar. He's the only one that's able to read it, and SMPR get the lead. Extra beats the defender to the ball that comes off the ceiling, and we're into extra time. And Archie on his own back wall. Not a lot of boost. The challenge by Marked by 8 comes through to the midfield. Marked by 8 touches it again. Casio over to Chaussette, and there's no defender there, and Chaussette will put that in, and we will be in the grand finals. And right off the beginning, it is SMPR that get a goal in the first seconds, and they're looking to try to defend this, and they can't defend. Relating Wave coming through in the air, no one challenging him. Archie to the midfield in the front of the box, and Chaussette is there to finish it off. And Relating Wave back along the corner, misses the ball, and just Casio alone is able to demo one though, and another demo comes through, and Chaussette will put it into an empty net. His time is running out, and Endpoint need a goal here in the first series. And that will be 4 goals to SMPR. Into game number 2 we go, as Relating Wave on his own back wall to the corner. Plays it, tries to put it on top of over Casio. He holds it for them, and they still have the ball. Archie can't make a save. Casio couldn't get that off the line, and Metasaurus will get the first goal. Seiko one-on-one Chaussette, and a nice 50. He's able to put it in the left-hand corner because he knew a guy was coming for the right-hand side of the goal, so he had to go to the left. A nice 50. Archie with a nice touch to slowly hit that into the path of his teammate, just to the behind and to the left of him. As we're into game 3, and Seiko there one-on-one is able to put it in, and they're trying to up the pressure, and Relating Wave off the corner of the goal is going to go into the net on that, and they will get the win and take a 2-1 series lead. Casio puts that in game number 4. Relating Wave down to Seiko. Nice save by Chaussette on the line. Archie on his own back over on the sidewall. Chaussette tries to pinch it in. It's intercepted, and Seiko's there to put it in off the backboard. And Casio over to Chaussette. And Archie comes through. No defender able to stop that one. Metasaurus and Relating Wave both trying to touch it. Archie with a nice touch, but he hits it to the one place that he can't hit it. And we have a tie game with only 10 seconds remaining. Archie, a lot of time and space. Just enough boost to get the flipper set on him. Oh, and Relating Wave is deked out by the teammate going for the ball who didn't end up touching it. And he can't get to that. And we are into game number 5. Series tied 2-2. The demo coming through, and Seiko's going to put that into an empty net. Seiko over to Relating Wave on the sidewall. Booms it downfield. Chaussette tries to pass over to Cassio's not ready for it. Puts it up, and they end up punished from that as Endpoint take another goal and a 2-0 lead. Seiko up to the ceiling with a double touch, and he's able to find the angle and get that as Endpoint are really starting to find form now. And SMPR are going to have to try to up the pressure on the forecheck, and they aren't able to get anything from it, and they will give up another goal, but they have to try to do something here to come back in this game, and they're not able to. This Endpoint will go into game 6 with looking to get the win in series number 1, and we're playing a best of 3 series. If Seiko fakes it underneath the players, and Metasars is there to finish it off with already 2-0 lead in game number 6 and 30 seconds left. SMPR really needs some goals like now, and Chaussette's not going to be able to finish that one off, and Endpoint will take the 3-0 lead, and the first win of the series is moving to game number 1 of the series number 2, and Endpoint starting off where they left off and get 1 goal and a 2nd goal off the backboard double touch from Seiko, who's really on fire this tournament. And the pressure keeps mounting for Endpoint. Metasars can only push it into the path of Cassio, and he will put that in for the first goal of SMPR in game number 1. Endpoint with nice corner play, controlling it in SMPR's box, and the demo comes through in the goalie, and they get a nice empty net goal. SMPR trying to get some offense going. They're able to off the ceiling. Comes down to Cassio, puts it in. Seiko all alone by 1 defender. Cassio was able to push it off to the side, but just barely. And Metasars is able to read that off the sidewall and put it in. And they take the first win in game number 1. And Endpoint with a nice snipe to begin with game number 2. And Chaussette off the backboard. Double commit comes through, and Archie puts it into the right-hand side. And then, should have been a goal for Cassio, who misses that from point-blank range. Chaussette with not a lot of boost, but fakes him, leaves it, pushes it back out for Archie, who's able to sneak it into the corner. And SMPR looking for the first win with a one-on-one Relating Wave and Cassio. Cassio beats it by him. Not able to beat Metasars, though. And Chaussette can't read it off the ceiling, and they tie it up as we head into overtime. SMPR still looking for their first win in series number 2. There's a 50, comes out to the middle. Seiko is the first one to read it. Defender can't read it off the backboard, and Seiko will put it away as Endpoint continue their dominance and win game number 2. On defense, though, in game number 3, and Cassio puts off the crossbar. Archie is there to finish it up, as Cassio really should have scored that opportunity right there. And with time running out, Endpoint trying to be aggressive, but they end up paying the price, and SMPR will get their first win of Series 2 as we move into game number 4. And Archie puts it in off the corner. No defender coming to meet him. No one can clear that on the line. And we'll get a second one very similar to the first one, as SMPR starting to show a little bit of their prowess in goal scoring and show why they are in the finals in the first place, as Endpoint get 1 goal back, and they're going to get a second one as Metasars slams that one through, and we go into overtime, and Archie puts that on target, blocked away with a nice double coming through. Archie on the corner, no one challenges him, and he's just able to air dribble that into the corner of the goal from the corner. Metasars on the line in game number 5 and is tied up 2-2, and Endpoint have the 1 goal lead in this game. Archie looking to put one on target, and the bump comes through to allow the goal to go through, and we are into another overtime. It's Metasars in his half field. Cassio blocks that. Seiko over to Archie, and Archie just Chaussette, who finishes it up. And SMPR really turning this series around on its head after the 2 losses in the beginning 2 games, but Endpoint Still starting off strong in game number 6. We'll get 1. Archie with a nice block. Chaussette into the corner. Ball comes all the way out to Casio. Didn't have the greatest of touches. Seco can't exactly clear it, only till half field though. Archie bumps one out of the way. Seco underneath one defender. Just him against Chaussette, and he's put it to the right-hand corner, and Chaussette could not get to it in time. Chaussette just able to put it off to the side. A double kick comes through. Seco with a lot of time and space, but it leaves it for a relating wave, and he puts that in. His endpoint looking good in game number 6. Trying to tie the series back up. Seco, and no one challenged him. Goes for the flip reset, doesn't need it, and wins the 50. And it will be 4-1 to endpoint, as they're looking for even more in game number 6, and will get it as Relating Wave finds one more, and we are into game 7. If endpoint win this, they will win the European Regional 3, and SMPR need a win to force number 3 set, but it's Metasaurus with the first goal, all important one off the ceiling and into their corner. Ball pops out, Metasaurus beats Casio to it. He doesn't think he can get back to it, and he can't read it off the sidewall. Metasaurus gets the second one as well. And we are looking at an endpoint victory here in game number 7, as SMPR trying to get a goal off the sidewall from Casio down to Chaussette. Casio puts it over to Archie, who's able to get that, and they really need a goal here with only 20 seconds left. Have to throw everything at the goal, but it's on their side of the field, and Seco with a nice double touch will get a 3-1 lead and a 4-1 lead as they win the European Fall Regional 3. Both those teams have booked their place to the Fall Regional in Sweden, and they will be joined by Dignitas, BDS, and Team Vitality as we look at the first round Swiss matchups. And they were seeded prior to this, as we have other teams coming from the Oceanic region, the Middle East, North Africa, and APAC qualifier, as well as SAM. And that is all for this RLCS recap. We will be back to break down the International Fall Major in Sweden. Thanks for watching.